I had this ridiculously brilliant idea of, could I kill 1,000 Brutuses in a single game of zombies? To which I very quickly realized that no, f***head, you can't kill 1,000 Brutuses in a single game of zombies, because that would then require you to get to around 10,000 on either Black Ops 2 Mob of the Dead or Black Ops 4 Blood of the Dead. But whilst I was thinking of Black Ops 4, I remembered Black Ops 4 is the home to custom mutations. Now, custom mutations only ever existed in Black Ops 4. Since then, it's been killed off, buried, and left to rot for probably all eternity, and I very much doubt Treyarch will ever bring it back, although I would do disgusting things to any human being if you do bring it back, because, oh my god, it's so much fun. And custom mutations basically allows you, the player, to literally decide everything and anything that can happen and will happen within a single game of zombies. You can change player health, you can change zombie health, you can limit the amount of times the box can be hit, you can turn Pack-a-Punch on and off, you can turn wall weapons on and off, you can do so much stuff, but you can also determine what zombies will spawn, or what enemies will spawn in a game, and how many of them can spawn in a game. So what I did was I went into the menu, I set my enemy spawn rate to mini bosses only, which is what the Warden classes as, and set his spawn rate to quadruple. Yes, quadruple. And I got to work on killing 1,000 Brutus zombies. However, I very quickly realized Black Ops 4 zombies requires you to do quite a lot of little side Easter eggs to get stuff on their maps, and Blood of the Dead is also accustomed to this, with you having to feed the hounds to get the Hell's Retriever, for you then to use the Hell's Retriever to hit the blue skulls to get the Blundergats, both two things you can't do when you're only killing Brutuses. The Brutuses don't count towards the dogs, so if you kill one near one, it doesn't spawn and then doesn't eat him, which means you can't get the Hell's Retriever, and then you can't go and hit all the skulls to get the Blundergat. And then B, Brutuses don't give you souls when you suck them up with the riot shield key, so that means you then can't get Pack-a-Punch. And I don't know about you, but I really don't want to go around killing 1,000 Brutuses with nothing but unpack-a-punched crappy box weapons. So I went back to the drawing boards, and I then realized I can have Pack-a-Punch turned on at all times. So I did exactly that. Now, running it back for game 2, I kind of realized pretty quickly that it would be a little too easy for me to just grab the Pack-a-Punch immediately and just start slaying Brutuses left, right, and center. So what I did was I did a little mini challenge within the actual challenge of I wasn't allowed to Pack-a-Punch any guns until round 20, just to, you know, spice things up a little bit, actually give me a little sense of danger. Now, in my head, I didn't think I could get the Blundergats, because I'm not gonna lie, I don't play much Black Ops 4 Zombies. I don't remember all the ins and outs of this game. I don't remember what's in the box and what's not in the box, and I, for the life of me, could not remember if the Blundergat was in the box, because I, for one, have never had it out of the box on Black Ops 4 Blood of the Dead, because I know for a fact it's incredibly rare. So in my tiny little pea-sized brain, I was just going about my business until I hit the jackpot of all jackpots, the gun of dreams, my favorite wonder weapon, popped its beautiful little face out of the box, and I grabbed it, and I was very, very happy. I was happily ready to just start slaying Brutuses left, right, and center when the Blundergat was in my hands, and that's pretty much exactly what I did. And luckily for us as well, we managed to get the Blundergat on round 6, so I knew for a fact that the rest of the challenge was gonna be, I'm not gonna lie, pretty fucking easy. I don't know about you, but I've never felt fear as much as what I have when I open up the catwalk doors to run along that tight little corridor, and you've had 8, 9, 10, I don't know however many Brutuses it was, spawn in front of you, then come charging at you, so you're getting kind of like double pounded back in front by Brutuses either way, because you're stuck in this tight little corridor. Phrasing. It's pretty scary, so I very quickly realized going over the catwalk normally just wasn't gonna cut it, so I had to kind of like loop zombies around, kill them, and then go through. But that's not where this gets actually terrifying, because I forgot one pivotal piece of information. When you cross the catwalk and you actually get into the cell block area, the main part of Blood of the Dead, all the hellhounds spawn, and I think there's about 15 of them. Yeah, every single one of those spawns was replaced with the Brutus, and I'm not gonna lie, the fear that struck through my body is nothing like I've ever felt before. Having 15 to 20 Brutuses spawn at one given time in front of you and come charging at you when you're trying to get into the prison, it's one of the most terrifying things I've ever had to deal with in my life. But having this many Brutuses spawn in at any one time and be chasing me at any one given time opened up one major issue that I was going to have to deal with for the rest of this game, and it was the screen shake. Brutus on his own, when there's just one of them chasing you, does give you a bit of screen shake, which I think, you know, it's fine. It's manageable. When there's 20 of them chasing you, all of them have their own specific amount of screen shake that all kind of like multiply and add on top of one another, just giving you this actual clusterfuck of shaking. It's what I imagine would happen if Requise ever actually got a hold of you, because my god, it is terrifying. My tummy was not in a good way by the end of this game. I tell you now, like, the motion sickness I was feeling playing this was just, it was through the goddamn roof. So now that I'd realized the main challenge for this video was going to be try not to throw up, I knew I needed to make my way through the prison and actually get my perks, which took me about 10 minutes because I had a lot of back and forth trying not to get squished and stuck into so many different areas by these Brutuses, because when they overwhelm you, they overwhelm you. You can get stuck so goddamn quickly. Even though I had the Blundergat and I was very safe in terms of like a fighting aspect, maneuvering your way around the map was still pretty treacherous when you had like 10, 15, 20 Brutuses chasing you that could just trap you in any corner on any part of the map and instantly just obliterate you, quite literally turning me. At some points, it literally felt like I was being turned into that meme of the girl sat on the couch with the blocks behind her. Like, it was horrifying having that many Brutuses chase you. I was scared for my life at some of these parts. But we clear through round 9, we get all of our perks, and I decided at this point that I wasn't going to stay in the main part of Mob of the Dead. I was going to go back to the spawn area on West Wing and train around that area, because I'd kind of came up with a pretty nice training route of starting where you first exit the spawn room, heading down into the new industries area, through the tunnel, and then back up those stairs, down that pathway, and then basically just looping them all around in a big circle. Well, that was the plan at least anyway, until I realized during the mad panic at the beginning of round 10 that I had forgotten to go and buy stamina, which meant I once again had to take a detour back through the prison just to buy our final perk, which subsequently got me stuck on the roof as all the Brutuses spawned right as I bought the perk. But it wasn't that big of a deal. I did only almost die twice. Even though our escapade back into the prison was a little scary, the next 6 rounds actually proved to be a breeze, and come round 20, I was able to pack-a-punch both the Blundergat and our Trebuchet. I decided to pack-a-punch the Trebuchet as well just because it turns into a grenade launcher, and I just thought this could be a really good way to deal quite a bit of damage to a large group of enemies at any given time if I ran out of ammo with the Blundergat. Which, actually, speaking of ammo, I didn't realize just how many drops I would be getting killing Brutuses, completely forgetting that like each single Brutus has a pretty high chance actually of dropping a power-up every time they die. And obviously, as I'm killing literally 1,000 of them, there's quite a lot of drops, which does mean you do get a lot of insta-kills, which obviously make Brutus weaker, so he's much easier to kill. You obviously get a lot of nukes, which do the same thing, and you also get a lot of max ammo, so you kind of always like fully replenished on ammunition and don't really need to worry in that department. And now that I've actually played through this once, there is definitely a few things that I know I can do to make this much harder in the future, as I definitely do think I want to revisit this at some time. Firstly, you can quadruple the health of all enemies in the game, which means I can give Brutus 4 times the health he usually has, which obviously does make him a lot harder to kill. But considering I would be aiming to have the Blundergat again, it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal, because the Blundergat was a hard carry during this game. I think I only put it in my pocket like 3 or 4 times when I just kind of got bored of shooting the same thing over and over again, where I just wanted to switch things up to 30 seconds. So I definitely think bumping up the health of the enemies is definitely a must if you want to make this like a really difficult challenge. I believe you can also limit the amount of power-ups you get, although I didn't really look at the power-up page very much when I was in the custom mutations. But if I could like turn off nukes and I could turn off like the power-up spawns, maybe the ones that give you like your special ability, and like limit myself to only the like a finite amount of resources, that could definitely make the challenge harder. I also had a setting where the game would end at exactly 1,000 Brutus kills. I think you can bump that all the way up to like 5,000 or something ridiculous, which is definitely another thing you could do. So instead of doing a 1,000 kill challenge, you could do a 2,000, a 3,000, a 5,000. I don't know if it goes more than that, because I'd love to try and maybe do like a 10,000 one, because that would be probably actually something no one has ever done before in zombies. And just to put it into perspective as well, like kind of just how easy this challenge actually turned out to be, on round 31, which you've just seen, where I take my first down where Dying Wish saves me, I think I'd killed already like 600, 700 Brutuses, and that was the first down we had taken all game. So there are definitely a lot of things that you can do to make this challenge much more challenging, as I'm not gonna lie, this was, you know, a challenge that kind of popped into my head like on a whim, and subsequently was quite easy. I won't lie, it was much easier than I thought it would be, mainly down to the fact that the Blundergat is just so goddamn powerful. And speaking of the Blundergat's power, it would continue to carry me all the way through to round 38, where this gun would claim my 1000th victim, the 1000th Brutus kill, which ended our game in exactly 38 rounds. If you have enjoyed this video, please do leave a like, drop a sub if you haven't already. Let me know in the comments what other challenges you want to see me do, and as always, I shall see you in the next one.